I
Yes, please continue.
Thank you, sir. Greetings, everyone. My name is Hassan Raza, and from Center of Excellence. The topic of my presentation is reservoir inflows forecasting of Mangala reservoirs using artificial neural networks and ARIMA models.
Hassan, there are two mics on in your room. Please mute one of the mic.
Yes, sir. Now, sir, it's okay.
Yes,
Uh,
Yes.
yes. Okay.
thank you, sir. Sir, now I come to my table of contents. First of all, there is an introduction, then study area, then research methodology, then introduction to artificial neural networks and ARIMA models, model operations, calibration and validation, results, conclusion, recommendations, and references. Now, first, uh, I begin with my introduction. Introduction of my topic. As we know that the raising population is enhancing the demand for fresh water, which results in the need for the optimal water resource management. In most of the cases, available water resources are limited and decreasing at alarming rate to fulfill the water demands of various sectors, domestic industry, agricultural, etc. Therefore, efficient use of water is necessary to meet these ever-increasing demands. The forecasted models are used to predict the future water availabilities and to extend the data trends and to complete the missing values. In case of reservoir operation, the forecasted inflows have key importance because accurate inflow prediction is not only an important for non-engineering measures but also can provide guidance in reservoir planning and management. The forecasted time series are generally used in reservoir operation to determine the fluctuations in the reservoir storage. From from various available forecasted models, artificial neural networks and ARIMA models have been widely used to forecast the reservoir inflows. Furthermore, ARIMA and ANNs have been proven to be superior to other approaches such as regression-based and time series models and is considered suitable for nonlinear time series. ARIMA and ANN are techniques that can model, map, and demonstrate the nonlinear relationship of complex phenomena. These methods are less sensitive to the error term assumptions and can tolerate noise, chaotic components, and heavily tails better than most other methods. Hence, the present research uses the streamflow time series data of Mangla Reservoir and forecasts this to determine the future water availability. The future water availability will decide the water shortages or excess periods. Here is my study area. I have used the Mangla Reservoir. Mangla Reservoir is located in Mirpur district of Azad, Kashmir. It is a large water storage reservoir on the Jhelum River. The Jhelum River originates from the snow-covered Himalayan and the Karakoram ranges. The Mangla Reservoir covers a catchment area of 329.7 square kilometer. The gross storage capacity of reservoir is 9.22 million cubic meter. The command area of Mangala Reservoir is 60,000 square kilometer. And here is the methodology. In order to forecast the streamflow time series, different NN models along with ARIMA models are used. Firstly, we check either the streamflow time series should be stationary or not. Otherwise, we have to convert them into stationary. Then after this model identification and had been performed and estimated the parameters. These estimated parameters were used to forecast the time series. Next, now what is artificial neural networks? As I have used artificial neural networks in my research work, so I should better explain a little bit about them. Artificial neural networks. Artificial neural networks are computing systems inspired by the biological neuron networks that constitute the animal brains. An ANN is based on a collection of connected nodes or nodes called artificial neurons, which loosely model the neurons in a biological brain. Artificial neural networks is based on training algorithms such as graph neural network, radial base function, feed forward back propagations, and many more, but I have used these three in my research. Next. The first training algorithm one is graph neural network. Graph neural network recently has received a lot of attention due to its ability to analyze graph structural data. Graph neural networks are connections models that capture the dependence of graphs via messages passing between the nodes of graphs. Unlike standard neural networks, graph neural networks retain a state that can represent information from its neighborhood with the arbitrary depth. And the second algorithm is radial based function neural network. There are special type of neural network and takes a radial basis function as its activation function. Unlike the commonly used artificial neural network, radial based function neural networks have fast learning speed and do not suffer problems like local minima. Radial based function neural network is a classic three-layer feed-forward propagated neural networks. The third one is feed-forward backpropagation neural network. Among other neural networks, the feed-forward neural networks using error backpropagation as a training algorithm has been recognized as the most famous artificial intelligence model and is often applied in hydrological modeling. Additionally, it has many superior features such as self-learning, self-adaptability, high robust and fault tolerance. Hence, backpropagation is an acceptable and efficient approach for modeling complex input-output interactions in hydrological time series predictions. And the final one is ARIMA model, which is actually not a ANN model. It is actually a statistics model. In statistics and economics, and in particular in time series analysis, an autoregressive integrated moving average model is generalization of autoregressive moving average model. It is actually both of these models are fitted to time series data either to better understand the data or to predict the future trends in the series forecasting. Now I come to my results. As I have told earlier, first we have to check either our stream flow is stationary or not. So we check our inflow variations in the Mangla Reservoir. For Mangla Reservoir, inflow peaks lie during the month of July to during the month between May to July, like monsoon season. These flows are stored during the flood season and used in the low flow periods. In the Mangla catchment, a major portion of area is covered with snow. Therefore, the summer season snow melts at higher rate and it contributes larger amount of discharge in Mangla Reservoir. These figures showed the mean monthly variations in stream flows. The flows were maximum during the monsoon. However, during the dry season, least flows were observed. During these least flow periods, water requirements of downstream are generally fulfilled by the stored water in reservoirs. Now I come to my calibration and validation of the data. The inflow time series of Mangla Reservoir was divided into two periods for calibration and validation. The calibration period was selected from 1991 to 2005, whereas validation period from 2006 and to onward 2015. A number of N and ARIMA model structures were used for trials to find the best fit models. The simulated values were compared with the observed values. Most of peaks were found consistent with the observed flows. It is an autocorrelation function. We also check this autocorrelation function for ARIMA models. Autocorrelation function helps to select the MA terms or P terms of the time series and significant values, 0 and 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 was found best fitted for inflow time series for calibration. Here I come to my calibration of ARIMA models. In calibration, I calculated the R square value, which is the coefficient of determinacy. R square value is should be closer to 1. In my case of ARIMA, in case of ARIMA model, calibrated value of R square is 0.75. And in the GNN graph neural network, its value is 0.912. And in radial base function neural network, it is 0.8837, and in the last one, the feed forward backpropagation, its value is 0.8454. Now comes to validation of the model. In validation of ARIMA model, R square value is like 0.698, and in graph neural network it is 0.826, and in the RBF neural network it is 0.69, and in the last one, feed forward backpropagation, its value is 0.723. Here's the summary of the validation of inflow time series. In the validation period, most of the peaks of observed data were slightly above the simulated time series. In the inflow time series, the seasonal trend was more prominent. In the validation period 2005 and 2015, the first peak of simulated flows is slightly higher than the observed flows. In the 2007, the maximum value of inflows is 1961 cubics, whereas in the same year, the simulated flows maximum value is 1218. It is a statistical summary. Now comes to forecasting, which is my main objective. After the calibration and validation process, same models like ANN and ARIMA were used for the forecast to inflow time series for the period of 2015 and 2030. The forecasted inflows time series was used to reservoir operation. After this, the forecasted rule curve of reservoir was determined and shortage was also determined. It is, as we can see, it is clear from figure below that the maximum flows are predicted in the year of 2018 and 19, whereas the lowest flows are expected in the year of 20,000 in the Mangla reservoir. Now I come to my conclusion. Different ANNs models were used in my research and these all are suitable for the linear time series forecasting. On the basis of forecasted streamflow time series, 14% of the water shortages are expected in Mangla Reservoir during the period of 2016 to 2030. The stream flow time series of Mangla Reservoir are forecasted by using the different models as mentioned above. The simulated results are compared with the observed values. The R-square values of inflows were evaluated. The results of ANN and ARIMA showed that these models can be used for stream flow forecasting and developing the policies for reservoir operations. Recommendations. The forecasted streamflow time series data may support the reservoir operators and managers for developing the efficient real-time reservoir operation policies and strategies. The water demands are also increased day by day, which increase the water shortages. Therefore, additional water storages are required to fulfill these demands, and another aspects of efficient irrigation system may be helpful to decrease the water shortages. These are references and thank you for listening my research topic. Thank you. If anyone has question, then kindly ask me.
Thank you very much, Hassan, Raza.